really what you need is a stronger foundation. And that's one thing I want to introduce the concept of, something that way back in the initial days of Google was true and is true to this day, this sort of idealistic view of the relationship between a website or web app or whatever, something, your property, the thing that you're building on the web, a search engine, and then a user. So there's sort of a relationship dynamic there in the ideal case that if everybody is working together, everybody benefits. And so I want to talk about that, not that it's necessarily real, that it's perfect, that that's the way things exist today, but that when everybody is working in the way that I'm going to describe, it is something that is sustainable. It builds a strong foundation. So in this magic triangle, from the users, I'm going to go through the perspectives of each parts of the triangle. So from a user perspective, what they want, they have a problem and they're trying to find the solution, and the website is their solution in terms of how these parts are related. And so it could be that they're trying to find a Christmas gift, and then they go on your website and they find that gift. So solution, problem and solution. But they need a way to find your solution because they don't know where your website is. They don't know how to get, they've never heard of your website before or how to get to it. And so they need some centralized point, some well-known centralized point where they can kind of look things up, right? So that's where search engines do really well, and where it helps, for the user's perspective, them find all those sets of solutions for whatever their problem is. And then from the website's perspective, they want, once a user is on the website, their main goal is to convert that user conversion, and that could mean many different things. Sometimes it means signing them up, just registering them as a login. Sometimes it means that they make a purchase. It could mean whatever. It's up to you, but your objective is reaching that conversion metric, right? But you need the users first. How do those users find you? Just like this is the reverse of what I just said on the user side. And so websites use search engines to acquire users. That's fundamentally the relationship. And then from search engines' perspective, they know they have users that are kind of looking for solutions. So they need to crawl a bunch of websites to have prepared a large number of high quality content and solutions that could be potentially the answers to questions and the solutions to problems. And then obviously from the user side, well, I shouldn't say obviously. So this is the one where it's probably the trickiest. In the ideal case, the search engine is just interested in making sure the user is satisfied and that they come back. So this actually isn't necessarily true today, and I'll get to that. But in the early 2000s or so, yes, Google had ads, but they were somewhat sane. They were unobtrusive. You had your right column with some ads, and then at the top there was some. But more importantly than this is that in the 2000s, Google Search and Google Ads were two completely separate entities. I mean, not from a legal sense, but within the Google organization, there was this, they would always talk about it. There was this wall between them, that Google Search had their own objectives, and they were not the same objectives as Google Ads. They worked together, they were the same company, and Google Ads within you get these areas and you try to optimize whatever you're trying to do to make money, but don't touch you're not touching the organic results. The organic results is part of Google Search, and their objective, I can't go back on this, but like I was saying in the previous slide, is just making sure that the user is satisfied and they come back. And the Google Search team didn't care one bit whether they clicked on an ad or not. So that was the big difference. That's how it used to be. That's the ideal relationship. And so here's kind of a whole list of this ideal, but of course, things aren't necessarily ideal. But when they are, I just want to point out that it all starts with this part, that everything starts with the user. If it wasn't for the user who had a problem trying to find a solution, none of this else matters. And so it's really good for both the search engine side and the website to keep a perspective on that.